You are starving. Not the kind of hungry you feel halfway through the day because you skipped lunch. Real hunger. The kind that makes your hands shake, your vision blur, and your body start digesting itself. You have not eaten in 2 days. There is snow outside. There is nothing outside. And if ancient humans wanted to survive the Ice Age, they had to find food in a frozen world. Mammoth. Reindeer. Fish. Roots. Fat. Bone marrow. Sometimes even food your modern brain would refuse. The only thing standing between you and death is a spear made from a sharpened stone and a stick. This was not a nightmare. For hundreds of thousands of years, this was Tuesday. The Ice Age, specifically the last glacial maximum, reached its coldest peak around 20,000 years ago. Average global temperatures were roughly 6 degrees Celsius colder than today. Ice sheets stretched across much of Europe and North America. Sea levels were over 100 meters lower. Forests shrank. Open grassland spread. The world your ancestors lived in looked almost nothing like the one you live in now. And they had to eat in it. Every single day. So what exactly did ancient humans eat during the Ice Age? The answer is more complex, more desperate, and more ingenious than most people imagine. Because the Ice Age diet was not a clean menu of lean meat and berries. It was a scramble. A shifting, regional, sometimes revolting act of survival. Start with what most people assume. Meat. Yes, a lot of meat. But not the kind you buy in a clean package at a supermarket. Archaeological sites across Europe, Siberia, and the Americas show Ice Age hunters pursuing animals that would terrify a modern person. Woolly mammoths. Cave bears. Giant bison. Woolly rhinoceroses. Irish elk, a giant deer with antlers that could span 4 meters. These were not small prey. Sites like Dolní Věstonice, said like Dolní Věstonice in the Czech Republic, reveal deep bone deposits from mammoths, horses, and reindeer. Cut marks on bone show that your ancestors were not just lucky scavengers. Work connected with archaeologist Olga Soffer helped show that Ice Age people were strategic hunters. They planned. They watched herds. They used the land. They drove animals toward cliffs, bogs, and places where size became a weakness. They coordinated in groups and shared the kill across the band. But here is the twist. Mammoths were not everyday food. Hunting a mammoth was not Tuesday. It was a dangerous event, maybe even a once-in-a-lifetime gamble. These hunts were exhausting and not always successful. Your daily food, the food that actually kept you alive between the big kills, was much smaller and more humble. Reindeer. Horses. Rabbits. Fish. Birds. Roots. Tubers. Seeds. And insects, almost certainly insects, though they rarely preserve as clearly as bones. Olga Soffer's research at Pavlov and Dolní Věstonice also revealed fragments of woven plant fiber. That detail matters. It means your Ice Age ancestors were not only hunters. They were weavers. They made cord. They made nets. And nets, along with fish hooks carved from bone, mean they were fishing, trapping, and catching small game at a scale that changes the simple image of the big game hunter. A spear is dramatic. A mammoth is dramatic. But a net can feed you quietly. Now imagine a day. It is early morning somewhere in what is now southern France, roughly 20,000 years ago. The temperature at dawn is below zero. Your band of perhaps 25 people is camped beneath a limestone rock shelter. Not a proper cave. 2 people from your band rose before dawn and walked toward the river. They carried spears, but also looped cord made from twisted plant fiber and dried sinew. They set snare traps where rabbits and hares move at first light. This is not dramatic. It is methodical. It is Tuesday. Back at the shelter, others pull bark and dead grass aside near the cliff. They are looking for edible roots. Maybe plants related to wild parsnip or chicory, depending on the region. The roots are small and bitter. They need roasting before they can be eaten. But they are there. And they are calories. In an Ice Age winter, calories are everything. If the snares work, there is protein tonight. If the roots yield enough, there is starch and fiber. If the river is not frozen, someone may spear a fish from the shallows. Nothing is guaranteed. Everything matters. Modern science helps explain what this diet did to the body. Studies of stable isotopes in Ice Age bones give clues. Stable isotopes are tiny chemical signatures stored in bones, and they help scientists understand what people ate over many years. Research led by scientists like Michael Richards at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology found that many Ice Age humans in northern Europe ate diets dominated by animal protein. In colder regions, meat may have made up most calories, sometimes 90% or more. But this was not true everywhere. In southern Europe, especially warmer refuge areas near the Mediterranean coast, the picture shifts. Shellfish middens, charred plant remains, and grinding stones suggest that some groups ate more plant foods and coastal foods. A midden is an ancient trash pile. A shellfish midden is a pile of discarded shells left by people who ate shellfish. So your ancestors did not have one single Ice Age diet. They had many, each adapted to a specific landscape. And fat. You need to understand fat. In modern life, fat is often treated like something to avoid. In the Ice Age, fat was survival. In extreme cold, your body burns energy quickly. Without enough dietary fat, your body can begin breaking down its own muscle tissue for energy. Your ancestors probably did not know the chemistry, but they knew the feeling. A lean deer was less valuable than a fat one. Bone marrow was worth cracking open. Organs mattered too. Liver, kidneys, heart, brain. These were not scraps. They were prizes, because organs carry fat, vitamins, and nutrients that muscle meat alone cannot provide. Vitamin C is one example. In the deep Ice Age winter, fresh plant sources of vitamin C could be rare. And yet your ancestors did not all die of scurvy. How? Organ meat. Raw or lightly cooked liver and adrenal glands can contain meaningful amounts of vitamin C. Evidence from cold-adapted cultures like the Inuit gives a useful comparison. They lived in extreme environments well into the modern era, and studies of whole animal diets show how organs helped provide nutrients when plants were scarce. They also ate things you would almost certainly refuse. Rotten meat, or more precisely fermented meat, may have been part of survival in extreme cold environments. A carcass could freeze, age, and partially decompose before being eaten. To your modern nose, that sounds disgusting. But when food storage means life or death, a frozen cache of aged meat can be worth far more than nothing. A cache is a hidden food store, almost like a frozen food bank. Bone broth was probably important too. Water boiled with animal bones could pull out fat, minerals, and small remaining calories. Stones with firecrack marks, hide-lined pits, and traces of boiling suggest that your ancestors tried to extract everything they could. Nothing was wasted. Hide became shelter. Sinew became cord. Bones became tools. Fat became fuel. Scraps became food. Now here is what this means for you. You live in a world where food appears on demand. Processed, preserved, packaged, and delivered. You have probably never had to earn a calorie with a spear, a trap, or a frozen river. But your body, the same basic body your ancestors carried through the Ice Age, was built for the opposite. It was built to work hard for food, to move constantly, to eat seasonally, and to treat fat, protein, and dense nutrition as precious. Every craving you have for meat, fat, salt, and rich food is 20,000 years of cold speaking through you. Your body remembers the Ice Age, even if your conscious mind has forgotten it. Your ancestors did not eat to enjoy themselves. They ate to survive until tomorrow. And tomorrow, they did it again. You wake up hungry. And after 300,000 years of mornings exactly like this one, that hunger is the most human thing about you.